Hello, my glorious people. In today's video, I will be ranking every ability in Piggy from the scanner to the decoy. I wish there were 10 abilities, just so I could. Made the title Top 10 Abilities in Piggy, but there's only 9. Let's start with the worst of the worst, Team Energy Boost. Yeah, so, it's not even worth buying this. Ability. Trust me, if you ever unlock this ability, never buy it, it sucks. It costs 150 Piggy tokens to buy, and it costs 10 energy to use. You know what it does? Gives every one of your teammates 2 energy. What the hell are they going to do with that 2 energy if their meter is filled? Nothing. And you know what you get in return? Nothing. So let me suggest a little buffer. This ability or a simple rework. Keep the energy cost, but change its effects a bit. Instead of 2 energy, it gives your teammates 5 energy if their meter isn't filled, but if their meter is filled, it will give your teammates an addition of 2 energy into their meter, so your teammates will have 12 energy instead of 10. You will also gain 20% boost to your energy gain for 5 seconds. What's your thoughts on this ability buff or rework suggestion of mine? Is it overpowered or underpowered? Another ability that requires no introduction. Yeah, same reason with Team Energy Boost. Team Magnifying Glass sucks, but at least it's slightly useful. Well, only for your teammates. This ability costs 100 Piggy token, 50 less than Team Energy Boost, and it costs 9 energy to use. 1 less than the last ability. It's not bad, but I wouldn't recommend using it. It's simply awful and not useful because it requires teammates. Honestly, I would have ranked this ability higher if it wasn't for one simple thing. Teammates, yeah. So, if you're in a server that's filled with newbies, just change the ability from your slot because there's 1% chance that one of them are secretly pros. This ability is useful for your teammates if you are friends with your teammates and you guys are in a private server. But that's the problem most of the time. Your teammates or friends will already have one ability that does the same thing but cheaper. Flare, flare, flare. This ability is a great concept, but it turned out to be awful. Great against player. That are the Piggy. This ability is awful against bots, because I tested the ability out yesterday, and it doesn't work against them. It costs 85 Piggy tokens and it costs 6 energy. Honestly, pretty cheap, but it still sucks. At least, it's useful when it's used against non-bots. Flare blinds the Piggy. But that's the thing, why though? There's no point in blinding the Piggy when they own traps like the mouse trap or Umbra that can keep an eye on the players if they run away when they are blinded. I have nothing to say about this ability, besides that's it. Pretty pointless to use. There's 2 abilities that makes this ability obsolete. Which are my 2 favorite abilities I usually use to stall Piggy out? Radar, finally a decent ability to talk about. Radar helps the player to keep the eye on the Piggy, great against both the bots and players. This ability is useful on swarm mode. This ability costs 80 Piggy tokens and costs 5 energy to use, which makes this ability better than the last 3, but this ability becomes pretty obsolete against the upcoming ability. I wish this ability lasted longer instead of 1 minute. Oh yeah, by the way, the flares lasts for 1 minute as well, but it doesn't make it better. The scanner's familiar to the radar, but it doesn't place down a small satellite on the ground to detect Piggy. The scanner detects nearby infected in the area for 3 seconds. It costs 4 energy to use and 70 Piggy token to buy it. However, this ability cannot detect secondary bots like Grandma besides one expectation, which is the Sentinels. Scanner is basically radar but cheaper and better, which makes radar pretty useless, but radar lasts longer than scanner. Camouflage, the one of 4 abilities that are just superior than the rest of the 5 abilities I talked about. By the way, this is one of 2 abilities that is my favorite ability. Camouflage costs 90 Piggy tokens to buy and 7 energy to use. The duration of ability is 7 seconds. Now, onto the ability's main use. Camouflage can disable bots' movement for 7 seconds, as they can no longer detect the player, which will give you more time to flee from Piggy, which is great. However, on the other hand, they can't disable the non-bots' movement. This ability is extremely useful against newbies, as they can't tell where you went, even though you're vaguely invisible. I can't say how many times I trolled players with this ability. This ability also affects Umbra, so they can't use that trap to catch you. You should definitely buy this ability as it has every great thing. You want an ability, trust me, you won't regret it. Decoy, in my opinion, the most useful ability in Piggy because you can distract both the bots and players that can't tell the difference between you and the decoy.
This ability costs 100 Piggy tokens and 8 energy to use this ability. The decoy lasts for 15 seconds, which is plenty of time for the bots to get to the decoy and kill the decoy instead of you.
You can also use this ability to juke the player when they are near to you and close enough to kill you. Use the ability to delay the inevitable. This ability is definitely a must-have on one of your slots for your ability.
Magnifying Glass, an ability which is cheaper to use and possibly the best ability in-game besides the last and final one. Without this ability, you will be lost and confused where items are located, especially when someone misplaces them.
This ability is basically Team Magnifying Glass, but better as it's only useful to yourself, as you can only trust yourself in Piggy and no one else. You don't know if someone is ever going to troll you or ruin your perfect match. This ability is the most reliable ability in the game. Without it, I don't know how some players, especially the newbies, to find items in the game. This ability is useful on large maps.
This ability costs 50 Piggy tokens and costs for energy to use. This ability lasts for 6 seconds, which is plenty of time for its usage.
This ability is a must-have, in my opinion. You should always have this ability on deck to help you on large maps. Sprint is the first ability you will get access to in the game since it's free. Everyone knows how this ability works, which is why it's so good to use. Just the way you can run away from Piggy makes this ability even better, especially when used against players that are Piggy. This ability costs 6 energy and lasts for 3 seconds, which is enough time for you to get away from Piggy. This ability being number 1 is deserved, as it helps so. What do you guys think of my rankings of this ability? Remember to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell.